ever walked into a wine store and not known where to go or what you want? It's very overwhelming. Today, we're going to show you how to find wine very easily. We're going to talk about wine in terms of style and not categories. So don't always think about a wine like Cabernet and Merlot. Think about how you like your wine. For instance, are you big, bold, rich, smooth, luscious, juicy? Are you a light, fresh, and fruity? Or maybe you're sticky and sweet. Big, bold, rich is sassy, sexy, big fruit, lots of tannins and structure, and wines that you want to decant or wines that you want to hang out with your buddies, and wines that really go well with food. But don't think of it in terms of just one region. Think of a style as encompassing the whole world. Don't think just of big or bold rich Napa Cabs. Think of great Spanish Rioja. Think of big Australian Shiraz. You have to think outside of the scope, and your wine merchant, and of course us here at Taste of Vino, can always help you do that. And it's not that hard. All you need is to find somebody that you trust that can help you find what you're looking for to go with either food or just to sit and casually drink at home. Smooth, luscious, juicy. Very sexy category. Subtle, soft, round, ripe. Think like the Marilyn Monroe of the wine segment. It's sexy, it's rich, it's lush. It's got all those components and elements that make food pairing wines with this category so good. And it's very enjoyable with or without food. So I love Pinot Noir, and Pinot Noir falls perfectly into smooth, luscious, juicy. There are other categories in smooth, luscious, juicy, and remembering that we're not just thinking about California, you have Pinot Noir and other varietals from all over the world that can go into this category. Also, your whites are not going to be as heavily oaked, which is great if you're looking for food pairings. They have a richness and a depth to them, like a good Alsatian white, but they don't have that big, bold, heavy, oaky, buttery style that you might find in big, bold, rich. So think smooth, luscious, juicy as a great midway component or element style that works really well with food or just to sit at home with your feet up, with your family, watching a good movie. And there's another category we could delve into. Wine and music, wine and movies. What goes best with a good movie? Light, fresh, and fruity. Often people get intimidated by this category because they automatically think I'm talking about something sweet. And there are a lot of sweet wines that are associated with light, fresh, and fruity. But you have to think broader. As we've shown you so often, it's not always about one segment, one category, one style. Think bigger, think wider, think deeper, and you'll discover there are a ton of great wines in light, fresh, and fruity that you can look to and without being intimidated and without always thinking sweet. For instance, besides the Riesling, you have to think of light, fresh, and fruity as crisp and fresh and easy to drink. Think crisp, fresh Pinot Grigio, really good Pinot Grigio. Perfect for light, fresh, and fruity. And yes, there is Riesling, and Riesling is an amazing grape. Did you know that Riesling is probably considered one of the most versatile food wines in the world? Because Riesling you can get at any degree of sweetness. You can get them dry, you can get them sweet, and if you have a good Riesling with great acidity, it's a beautiful thing. Let's discuss other grapes in light, fresh, and fruity. You can find everything, like I said, from Pinot Grigio, you can find Rieslings, you can find beautiful rosés, pink, fresh, crisp, light, delicate, perfect for a hot summer's day. Gruner Veltliner is a grape grown in Austria. Not something many people know, but it is such a delicious alternative. If you like Pinot Grigio, I challenge you to try a Gruner Veltliner. Get that spicy, fresh, crisp mineral white in your mouth, and you'll never have Pinot Grigio again. It's deeper, it's richer fruit, it has this wonderful aroma without being overpowering, and it blows Pinot Grigio away. But that's just my opinion. sticky. A category often assumed only for desserts. Of course, not so. You can pair dessert wines with savory foods. There's nothing better than a very aged Riesling with those smoky, rich flavors where the fruit and the sweetness has kind of aged out a little bit, where you can actually pair it with certain meats, and it works really, really well. But yes, traditionally, you're going to find your stickies work best with fruits, desserts, and often on its own in front of the fireplace with somebody you really like. Now, I want to explain the difference really quickly about the tawny ports and ruby ports. Ruby ports are aged in the bottle, and tawny ports are aged in barrel. Vintage ruby port is picked in that specific year and aged in the bottle. Tawny ports, you'll find 10-year, 20-year, 30-year, 40-year tawnies. Those are all aged in barrel. So that's why on a tawny port, you're going to get those toasty aromas, that nuttiness. The color is a little lighter, has that tawny color. It's very creamy, it has rich fruit flavors. But then you have the rubies, this big, bold, red, ripe, rich, sometimes very hard style port. And those are aged in bottle. And when you get them a little older, they round out and they soften in the bottle as time goes on. So that's the difference between a ruby and a tawny. Bubbles, a fun category, not just for New Year's Eve anymore. Bubbles is sparkling wine. Champagne is from Champagne. Sparkling wine can be from anywhere in the world. Did you know there are only 16 Grand Cru vineyards in all of Champagne region in France? That's a minute amount of vineyards considering the scope of how much Grand Cru comes out. So there are some very good wineries and very good values of Grand Cru Champagne, which we look for here at Taste of Vino, that doesn't have to cost hundreds of dollars a bottle. Think of bubbles, though, as anything you want. Prosecco is a bubble. Cerdon de Bougie is a bubble. A crisp rosé from the Loire with a little fruit. Think of great Grand Cru Champagne. And then think of a little Cremant. Think of that little sparkling Moscato d'Asti. Very tasty. If it's bubbles and it sparkles in your glass, it's a fun thing to have. And we categorize them all again under one label, bubbles. So let's talk about the value of decanting. Don't think about your bottle of wine as needing to be old. The younger the bottle of wine, the more important it is to decant. This is a bottle of Chateauneuf de Pape 2005 by Piero Seglio. I'm going to decant it as if it was an old bottle first, which it is not. So that's when you want to decant on the side, slowly, the idea being that you don't want the sediment to go into the decanter. But when it's a young bottle like this is, you do what we call a violent decant. You pour that baby in there, you get the bubbles going. See, glug, glug, glug. Looks like you're pouring a bottle of beer. See how it has little bottles? That's a violent decant. So this is why decanting is so important. What we did was got the air in there, it's going to open up, and then you let it sit for like an hour or two. I would talk to your wine merchant and see how long they suggest you keep the wine decanted, but this is a great way to taste young wine earlier than the winemaker expected you to.